Zammit is the Gateshead fullback. Daylight, Collins, Simon and Heron. Robinson's the captain, and Peters. Up front, Carvel, who's on loan from Leeds, Jenkins and Felsh, Wilson and Marr, and Dion Bird, the loose forward. There's no captain, Tony Grimaldi. And on the bench, Kerrod Walters, David Maiden, Brett Grogan and Sean Allwood. The coach is Sean McRae. Now the Rhinos, Francis Cummins at fullback, captain Iestyn Harris is on the bench. Sterling, Golden, Godden and Rivette. Darryl Powell wears the captain's armband alongside Ryan Sheridan. Up front, Marcella, Newton and Fleary, Hay, Farrell and Glanville. And take a look at the subs bench. Harris, Jackson, McDermott and Sinfield. The coach is Graham Murray. So Gateshead, they have never lost 3 in a row, or indeed consecutive home games before. But if they suffer defeat here, it will virtually kill their playoff hopes. They know that Castleford do have to visit St Helens and Warrington in the next 7 days. These Leeds men might be fatigued and depleted, but maybe Graham Murray has an eye on next Friday's clash with Wigan. A game that could well decide third place, and with it, the 2 bites at the playoffs for a place at Old Trafford in the grand final. The Leeds Rhinos, of course, who played at Old Trafford in the inaugural grand final last year. And since they won at Wembley in May, they have set their sights on being at Old Trafford on October the 9th, and so have their travelling army of supporters. Darryl Powell is their captain for the evening. Man of the match against Salford in midweek, maybe playing the best football of his career. Now the Gateshead Thunder, after 5 attempts, Sean McRae has never beaten a Graham Murray coach side. 2 points adrift of Castleford before the weekend started. They also have a game in hand though, Castleford. And 102 tries they've scored, but they've conceded 89. And Matt Daylight is their top try scorer from the wing. Luke Felsh has done a wonderful job, as Gateshead have been a bit light in the forwards department. Out comes Will Robinson, captain for the night. So both Tony Grimaldi of the Gateshead Thunder and Iestyn Harris don't start this match. Sean McRae, the Gateshead coach, his men beat Wigan in Edinburgh and Castleford in July. It seemed to give them the edge, but London's win here last weekend has damaged all that. They've dropped 3 points to London Broncos this year. It could be a very costly 3 points. Stuart Cummins, tonight's big match referee, and the Thunderdome now is ready to rumble. And the big question, Steve-O, have Leeds got the puff after 2 games this week? This is their 3rd in 9 days.
Well, in the past, we've seen clubs struggle, especially in the final 20 minutes, but Leeds do have a very strong substitutes bench, and that will be important. The method of that man, Graham Murray, when will he make the changes? But he knows the selection of Francis Cummins at full-back is a bit of a surprise for me. And there's little doubt that Gateshead will pepper Cummins with some high kicks early in this match. He's not the best at defusing the bomb, isn't Francis Cummins?
So it's going to be the Leeds Rhinos who will get this game in motion, and it is that man, Francis Cummins, who is lining up for the kickoff. So Gateshead will have first use of the football here. Low kickoff, aiming to get a mistake from the Gateshead players. And that's the first drive of the match from Gareth Carvel, former Leeds man, of course. He's on loan up here in the northeast.
Well, he'll want to make a big impression. He's a big man, only a youngster, Carvel. And perhaps if you look at the lineups, Leeds perhaps just have the edge in the size and strength in the forward, but Gateshead have shocked many big clubs this season.
Mick Jenkins gets the pass away. Lovely little scamper again from Will Robinson. He gets over the halfway line. And that's the 4th of the first set of 6. Willie Peters now for the Gateshead Thunder. Gets the ball to Dion Bird, but good tackling from Brad Godden. Oh, did I see a little grimace on the face of Godden as he went down under that challenge? The high kick now from Robinson. Here's the first test for Cummins. He comes up with it clean as a whistle.
That will really lift his confidence. Eyes on the football at all time. They did well, though, to shield him. Leroy Rivette went right in front, but straight away, the Thunder put the pressure on Francis Cummins at full-back. It was a good high kick.
Terry Newton is the Leeds dummy half, and Bradford have gone into a 6-0 lead against the Sheffield Eagles midway through the first half at Odsal. Bradford, the team, of course, leading the charge at the top of the table, look odds-on to finish in pole position, and therefore, of course, they get the home route all the way through to Old Trafford. Here's Matthew Daylight taking on Leroy Rivette. Good tackling by Rivette and Golden. Well, if Leeds looked at the fixture list that was to come over the next 4 weeks, they would go pale. They've got Wigan and Headingley next week. Then they travel to the Bradford Bulls. They have London at home as they aim for second place in the ladder and Old Trafford for a second successive year. Leeds-Wigan, by the way, you can see with us on Sky Sports next Friday at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. This is Craig Wilson.
Nearly got it as well did Wilson, the big second rower. Just couldn't get clear. And I remember when Gateshead pulled off that shock win against Wigan up in Edinburgh, they really spun the ball out wide. They caught Wigan out wide in their defence, and another kick for Cummins.
Taken this time, though, by Rivette, but he's bundled over the line and in touch by Craig Simon. Rivette thought that he got the ball back in the field of play, but not so. There's the tackle completed.
Good work by Craig Simon. Yet another kick. Just came away out of the eyes of the fullback Francis Cummins, and Leroy Rivette took it well, but more pressure. The Thunder will receive this ball from the dropout underneath the sticks.
So Leeds restart with the dropout to halfway. Now next weekend it's a massive weekend on both sides of the world. Leeds-Wigan is a repeat of our grand final on Friday evening. That's on Sky Sports, and also you can see a repeat of the Australian grand final, 9 AM on Saturday morning, Sky Sports 1, Brisbane against Canterbury. Two massive matches on Sky Sports next week. In fact, we have quite a weekend. That's a beautiful ball from Simon to Simon, and a good tackle by Powell. Jenkins at dummy half, they're attacking down the short side. Daylight will get the try! Matt Daylight gets the try for Gateshead. Just as they did to Wigan in Edinburgh a few weeks ago, the Gateshead Thunder have caught Leeds out wide, and they're in for the first try.
Keeping the ball alive, it was good work on the blind side. Mick Jenkins, a hooker, he really has been a revelation, this fella. You see, just dummy to go back on the outside, but came on the blind side. Offloaded well there, nothing that Marvin Golden could do about it. And Daylight, as he has done so many times this season, scores in the corner.
Well, that is the 20th try, and that should have brought a smile to the face of Sean McRae, the coach. But not so to the face of Graham Murray, the Leeds Rhinos boss. Early days yet, he will say. But Daylight's try, and the important difference between this match and the game at Edinburgh is that Ian Heron is in the side. Ian Heron, great goal kicker for Gateshead this season. 78 goals. He's third on the Super League goal chart, behind a certain Yestin Harris and Sean Long. 78 goals. This is a very unusual kicking style that Heron has, but having said that, it's highly effective. Look at that. What a beautiful kick from Heron. And Gateshead race to a 6-point lead over the Rhinos.
It all came about from a quick play, the ball. You can see on the outside, look at that blind side, they just left completely. And Jenkins, a hooker, took full advantage. Whips the ball out there. Marvin Golden was caught. Excellent.
Terrific start then. 5.5 minutes gone. 6-0 Gateshead lead, and that will certainly get their tails up. Remember, 2 points adrift of Castleford. Castleford have the game in hand, but Sean McRae will point to the fact that that is against St Helens, his former club, in midweek at Knowsley Road. And then Castleford this time next week are at Warrington. So it's a massive week coming up in terms of the Super League and the race for the 5. A lot of people, me and Steve-O included, have given the game away as far as Warrington are concerned, but Warrington won't have it. And now here we go. Well, the fight's on.
Newton's throwing them. Flair is in there.
And Stuart Cummings is just standing back and watching them all get involved and picking out the culprits.
Well, Newton's still going. Well, the music's come on. This must be love, he said. And you could see there that Farrell was trying to get at the ball. Perhaps he thought he was going. Fleary had a little bit of a go. Newton comes involved. Robinson was trying to get them away. Well, they were throwing all over the joint.
Not sure what went on in there, so I'm going to put that on report.
Well, I'll put everything in report here. It's pretty hard for the official to do it.
Okay. Right.
Well, I think you'll find that Farrell is the man that started it all. But it looked to me as though he was actually punching at the football.
Darryl.
Well, the whole incident will go on report, but I wonder whether we'll see any yellow or red cards as a result of all this. Right. The two captains are together, plus the touch judge.
The initial offence was by Farrell, right, punching in the tackle. Okay, that's what we're going to go with. But there's a lot going on in there, right? So we're going to put the rest of it on report and have a look later. Okay, so that's on report for the penalties against Leeds. Okay.
Penalty against Leeds. Farrell punching in the tackle.
Well, will they go for the 2 points?
With Heron involved, they might.
Just over the halfway line, and yes, he's indicated to the official. The touch judges are running round underneath the post. Well, that's foolish play by Leeds to get involved in a bit of a scuffle there. They've already conceded the first try. Would do little for their confidence, and as Eddie has just mentioned, this fella, he may take his time, but oh, isn't he successful?
Well, a brilliant conversion from him from the touchline. This is bang in front, but he's about 2 meters inside the Leeds half. He's got to give it a bit of a thump, but the wind is behind him. This fella's an effective kicker. 48 meters away. It hangs, it hangs. It's just short of the mark. Cummings will run it back.
Well, he'll be slightly disappointed with that, mainly not just at missing the chance for an extra 2 points, but Leeds now have possession. It didn't go dead in goal, which would have meant a dropout from Leeds underneath the sticks.
Here's Masella, and there's a flop from the Gateshead Thunder. Carvel, was it?
Yeah, it was sort of going down anyway.
I think it was Will Robinson, actually.
Robinson came in late. It was going down, was Carvel anyway. Got a bit of a hit on the face as well of Masella.
Interesting about Leeds, Steve-O, there are one or two of their stars who are in the middle of protracted contract negotiations in terms of next year. Brad Godden, Martin Masella, who is there in charge of the football and who gets the penalty for offside against Gateshead. I just wonder if that's having a disruptive influence on this Leeds team at the moment.
Well, it amazes me, and you can see there that there's plenty to choose from offside, and the referee, Stuart Cummings, but I must say that Craig Wilson, he felt that there was a bit of a stray elbow. Getting back to that contract situation, it amazes me that these players and their managers want to get involved at such a vital time of the year. I know it helps, perhaps, that they can bend the club's arm a little bit to say, give me a little bit more coin. But it does amaze me that they should quite clearly outline to them and say, look, we will discuss your contracts when the season has finished.
Francis Cummings is another man who is coming off contract at the end of this year.
And it all comes about by poaching from other clubs. We know that.
Well, that's true, but they have agreed a new one-year deal with Darryl Powell, Leeds, recently. Cummings with the kick, misses. And Cummings has got blood, as you see, coming down from the hairline. That'll have to be mopped away before Stuart Cummings sees it. The thing about the Cummings attempted kick at goal there was he now gets the ball back because he got the ball dead, and so Gateshead had to drop out from their own 20-metre line.
Great defence there. And you can see that Anthony Farrell would have felt it. They've got
a good strong run.
they need it as well. They've got to get into the swing of things here. It's been a stop-start affair for Leeds. Not really had any chance to apply any pressure, not really had much chance to go through their set of 6.
Here's Marcella again. Remember when we were here in March, it was a wet, cold night, and the Gateshead players really were just about getting to know each other the start of the brand new season, and Leeds won. A couple of controversial instances, I remember, but Daryl Powell got the one of the tries that night. His stab into the corner, well chased by Rivette. Cleaned up, though, by the Gateshead Thunder defender Ben Zammit, but he runs the ball touching goal.
Good position by the fullback, Zammit. But a nice option by the experienced Daryl Powell. Captain for the night, of course, and he knows how important it is, but good work by Zammit. He's had a fine season. He really has led by example. Pretty solid under the bomb.
Drop out from underneath their own sticks, and it just bounces past Anthony Farrell. That will allow Gateshead to close them down even further. Farrell to run it back. Simon leading the chasing pack. Jenkins and the kicker Robinson was involved in that. Cummins, dummy half, gives it to Rivette. Leroy Rivette, scorer of 4 tries in the Wembley showpiece, but he hasn't scored in the last 6 in Super League. Glanville, on it goes to Hay.
Well, we mentioned before the kickoff that Leeds, they have quite a lot of talent on the bench, and it's going to be important when Graham Merry utilises that. Lee Jackson, past Marston, of course, are coming on to the field and securing things in the half-back position, and of course Justin Harris.
Good run there from Marcella. Quick play the ball. Newton kick forward looking for Cummins. Cummins gets it, and Cummins gets the ball down. But did he ground it properly? Did he hit the line, or did he hit the bottom of the post?
Skidded over in one motion, as far as I'm concerned. It was a beautiful little chip over the top.
And the referee wants to check also, Steve-O, whether Francis Cummins was onside.
Well, it was a neat option. Beautiful little chip over the top. Quick play the ball. And he threw the dummy to Newton. Now then, is he onside? Yep, he's fine for the onside. Now they will go look whether he had one single movement and not a double movement over the whitewash, and I think you'll find that momentum takes him there. Now that's a ball carrying arm, it has yet to touch. Oh, that's a try. That is great work by the fullback, Francis Cummins. He did ever so well. This is TRY.
Video ref has seen enough. The try is given to Leeds. Cummins gets his 21st of the campaign. There's a little smile from Graham Murray. He knows that in a moment when Cummins kicks this goal, as he surely will, Leeds will be on level terms.
Tremendous work by the hooker, Newton. Took the option, they weren't really looking for it, and Cummins a full back. Now, to mine, that perhaps is a bit of a planned move. Cummins knew exactly what was happening there. That was a tremendous little power play there by the full-back. Kick over the top from Terry Newton.
And kick over the top of the crossbar from Francis Cummins. So it's the Gateshead Thunder 6, Leeds in the figure of Cummins 6.
There you see the defender circled. He was just a little bit lazy, and it allowed the opportunity. He should have read this, and you see he's very slow to react, and that's the reason why the full-back got there first. What a wonderful ploy.
Well, Francis Cummins will enjoy playing Gateshead, and indeed in Gateshead. That's tries in every meeting with the Gateshead Thunder this year now in Super League. And also he got a hat-trick on this ground on the road against Salford last July.
Well, we thought he was going to be the man to be put under a lot of pressure. They've already had 2 kicks at the full-back, but he stood his ground well. And as Eddie has mentioned, loves nothing better than playing against the Thunder.
The Leeds forwards, you feel, are getting on a bit of a roll now, and Gateshead having the devil's own job to stop them. This is Brad Godden. That's a great tackle on him from Craig Wilson. Big high kick. There's Gateshead player injured in back play, but Zammit is cool under the bomb.
Tremendous take. Launched himself just at the right moment. Oh, that's good defence.
Gareth Carvell is the man who is down and injured at the other end of the field for Gateshead, as this attack starts from deep inside their own 20-metre line. And that is a good drive forward by Maiden. Dion Bird now with a scampering little run.
See the hooker Terry Newton just turn Dion Bird onto his back. They're vital seconds, allows your defence to get set up.
Willie Peters with the kick downfield, but it was a nothing kick. Cummings collects it on the bounce, goes round Willie Peters also. A good job for him that Adam Marr was there in support. Glanville to Sheridan, on it goes to Hay. Hay trying to barge his way through the two defenders. Gets past Bird almost, over the halfway line. It goes with Fleary. Strong run again from Darren Fleary. Kerrod Walters has come on for the Gateshead Thunder. Marcella now drops it.
Oh, that should be a penalty.
And it's play on because the ball has arrived in the arms of Zammit. And now the referee gets Terry Newton for a high shot on Ben Zammit.
Well, you saw the prop forward, Marcella, not too happy with this. This looks to me as though they've deliberately gone for the football. Looked to me like Will Robinson. Walters is onto him. Well, it's deemed perhaps it was 1-on-1. Pretty difficult for the officials to Cummings though.
There's Kerrod Walters just back on the field for Gateshead. On to Robinson. He gets it away then to Jenkins.
You could see the Leeds defence out wide, moving in. Remember against Wigan, they really cut them to pieces, did Gateshead.
That was a great tackle from Glanville. Bradford have streaked into a 20-0 lead by half-time against Sheffield. But a great tackle there we saw by Glanville on Bird, and here's Bird again. Trying to go round Andy Hay this time, but Andy Hay's considerable frame goes across the throat of Dion Bird. Here now is Robinson again. Back it goes to Peters, and he looked up wide and saw Daylight. Daylight's onside, collects it. Rivette is beaten. Daylight gets a second. Second try for Daylight.
Was he
the referee
onside?
gives it. Well, the touch judge was absolutely certain with his signal. Onside, he said. And Daylight, he has caught them out wide again. A beautiful weighted kick. And Daylight greeted it and took the fall.
Well, they really caught Leroy Rivette out here. The touch judge said that he was onside, but I tell you what, the high shot, I'm not too sure. He was confident with Stuart Cummings. He went straight to the touch judge. Beautiful kick by young Peters, and what a take. Well, I'm not so sure that this fella's is onside. And when we take a look at the high shot, it was a beautifully taken kick, wasn't it? Daylight, try number 2 for him. And you can see Rivette realise that he should have gone back earlier. Now you see the head. Just look at the bottom left-hand corner. You just well, a little bit further. There he is. Well, it's pretty difficult to say. But either way, they're not complaining. The Thunderdome has exploded here, and Daylight in for his second try of the game.
Well, he had 7 tries last year in 20 for the Adelaide Rams last year. Matt Daylight, he's now got 21 in 1999 for Gateshead. And Ian Heron again with another difficult conversion attempt. But he has I was about to say, a wonderful habit of sliding those over the top of the crossbar. That just hit the post. 10-6 though, Gateshead Thunder are ahead.
Well, they really did catch out the winger, Leroy Rivette. And it's out of sight there. It is very, very difficult. Either way, Stuart Cummings did not go for the video screen, and that allowed that man in for his second try. What a great boost. They've started well of the Thunder. Remember Leeds, they played Salford midweek, so Thunder psychologically will feel that Leeds should tire in the final quarter. Be interesting to see whether they do.
Sean McRae done a fabulous job up here in the northeast with a brand new fledgling club. They're on the fringe of the playoffs. They might even make the playoffs if results go for them this week. But now you cannot punch and shove, and Robinson realises that now. He has got the penalty against him.
Well, in 3 pushes, Sheridan had a little one back. Just a lack of concentration there by Will Robinson, and it could prove costly. Looks like Cummings will opt to take the 2 points on offer. He just lost the plot slightly with the standoff from the Thunder.
So Francis Cummings, who has scored all 6 of his side's points so far, he has the opportunity to get Leeds back to within 2 again. Two Great Britain caps, one for emerging England, one for England, and 2 points for Leeds. 10-8. Gateshead just ahead.
Well, he's the man of the moment, isn't he? Francis Cummings, and is handling the position at fullback very well indeed.
Well, Gateshead won their previous 6 home games prior to last week's defeat by the London Broncos, aiming to get their season back on track. Rivette collects the kick-off. Good defence from Leeds, from the Gateshead Thunder again. Good chase downfield by them. Jenkins was there, Robinson, and also Wilson. Here now is Darren Fleary, and they're muscling it out and toughing it up with the Leeds forwards. Here's Anthony Farrell.
Certainly getting the crowd going. It's good defence. One low, they're chopping him down, and again we see the hard-working hooker Mick Jenkins coming to the fore. It's been a great buy for them. Nearly a half break though by Powell.
Yes, gets to the 40-metre line. Jenkins 12 tackles already in this match. Sheridan dabs the ball over the top. No particular urgency in the Leeds chase, but a mistake from Zammit. Oh, it went backwards, says Stuart Cummings. That's contentious.
Well, I think he's got it right, the official. It did, it went backwards. It's still rolling backwards. Big call, though.
It was. You've seen them given knock-ons for less than that.
Well, defence is moving up extremely quickly. They're trying to slow things down. And again, you see Newton, well, he had a second bite at it, and the official is having none of this, and rightly so. These players have to realise that they can't just stop people from trying to get on with a quick play of the ball. It's a ploy that players and coaches try to instill into their team. Referees try hard to make sure they don't get away with it. Oh, good defence. Mark Glanville, a big hit there on the fullback.
The word from the sideline is that Gareth Carvell has got a twisted knee. This is Karen Walters, good ball back on the inside. And Adam Maher was greeted by a stiff challenge, so stiff that the ball dislodged from his grasp. And Gateshead have come up with a knock-on.
Well, the big second rower thought he'd run straight into a brick wall here. Newton and Glanville, and he just lost control of it. Tough customer, though, is the second rower.
Double change being made here by Graham Murray. Lee Jackson and Barry McDermott coming on for Darren Fleary and Terry Newton. And when Jackson comes on, normally things happen for Leeds. Sub against Salford on Wednesday, and he got a try as well. The 20th time today he's come off the bench. And what a weapon to have on your replacement bench, Steve-O.
Certainly is, and let's see how he's developed back. It was a bad injury. He's got to build his confidence. Oh, it looked like Walters had a bit of a swing there. Oh, that's a big mistake, and this will be...
Oh, Dion Bird, if he'd have picked that up, he would have waltzed in for the try, and I rather fancy Dion Bird knows that.
Oh, that was a gift, but why on earth did Barry McDermott trying to keep that ball alive?
It'll be the first knock-on, it'll be against Gateshead. You'll see a hand in here. From here,
there's
Jackson's
a knock-on.
pass is knocked forward.
It was Sheridan that got the left hand to it, should I say right hand. You'll see it. And also it was
Steve Collins who got the hand to it.
Certainly was. Well spotted by the official.
Well, Dion Bird thought that the try line was beckoning, and so did everyone else in this stadium except referee Stuart Cummings and Lee Jackson, it has to be said. McDermott on the charge.
That's better. That's what he's out there to do.
Here's Masella.
It's amazing. He's like a magic wand, isn't he, this Lee Jackson fellow? When he gets out there, the Leeds forwards suddenly come to life.
Golden is halted. Wilson's tackle. Jackson to Sheridan. Wide it goes to Glanville. Wider still to Hay. A very important defensive tackle there by Collins. Here's Sheridan stabbing it across the face of play. Daylight picks it up. Gets the pass away riskily to Zammit. Zammit launches another Thunder attack.
You've got to hand it to these Thunder players. They do play a most adventurous style of rugby league football. Most coaches would ask his players, oh, that was a big hit. Most coaches, like Sean McRae, likes to see, and he doesn't know where he is.
Got a big hit from Barry McDermott.
Well, he's...
or was it Anthony Farrell?
He's got 2 tries, and
Anthony Farrell.
That's a bad one from Farrell. Not seen by the officials.
Seen by Matt Daylight.
Well, I'm not so sure he saw it. He felt it.
Will.
Chip over the top was difficult for Cummins, but he gets it at the second attempt. Shaped to pass out wide to Rivette. Felsh and Simon close the gap down. Rivette at dummy half. Here's Marvin Golden. Good tackling by Jenkins again.
Well, I must say that Francis Cummins is handling the full-back position. Seems to relish the fact that he's got a little bit more room to move.
McDermott's lost the ball. Gateshead have it back.
Well, that's the second time he's tried to offload in virtually impossible positions.
Robinson showed it to Jenkins. Gave it to Simon. Got the return pass. Out wide to Daylight. Daylight fancies taking on Golden. Golden won that particular battle.
Again, you see, maybe there might have been a hand in there. Unfortunate for McDermott, but he was his body language. Oh, that was a high one from McDermott. And
they're very anxious, aren't they, to get involved in the fisticuffs. McDermott's shot on Peters was high.
Was it ever? Well, Stuart Cummins surely must report this.
High tackle. Nick, can't have you coming in, third man, and causing a problem. All right? Otherwise, you'll be going down there. Hey, just listen to me. All right? That's what's going to happen.
Penalty to Gateshead for the high tackle by McDermott.
Well, I think we'll hear a little bit more about that one.
Well, Daylight still just wondering exactly where he is. A couple of high tackles he has had himself. That last one was on Willie Peters. Heron now shaping up for his third kick of the evening. Beg pardon, his fourth kick of the evening, this, from Heron. This one centre field as well, and about 20 metres further forward than the one he missed with. Gets 2 more points. Well, Leeds will concede penalties within kicking distance at their peril. 12-8.
And they know this guy can launch them from virtually anywhere in the Leeds half, and there is a replay of it, and I think we'll hear a little bit more of that. Why Leeds are utilising these tactics. I know you go out there to try to get on top in the forwards, but not by using those tactics. And thankfully, Stuart Cummins has seen it, and I think the next one that wants to start throwing his arms around may get an early shower.
Kevin Sinfield on for Bloodbin victim Glanville, and this is Dion Bird. I must say, Steve-O, they have got a fairly good PA here at the Thunderdome, haven't they? It's deafening.
They sure have.
7 penalties in the match. We've had about half an hour played. This is Kerrod Walters, and he's seen a little gap. Good ball to Daylight. Daylight going down the wing, stabs forward. He'll collect this. Cummins has to be brave, and is.
He lost it, though. This will be a head and feed. Well, it was great thinking by Matt Daylight. He knew that there was very little room to move, so he put boot to ball. Knew he didn't have the speed, but when he got into a clear, this was a brave effort by Cummins, but to no avail. They'll have to see out another 6 from the Thunder. Leeds on the rack.
Well, Francis Cummins has been involved in everything, hasn't he, so far? Diffusing the bombs, bravery in defence. This is Dion Bird, and Leeds will have to stand tall in defence now to keep them out in this set of 6. Jenkins, back it goes to Robinson. Long ball, Sterling went for the intercept and missed both ball and player. Collins gets to his feet eventually, looking for the penalty from Brad Godden's charge, not forthcoming. Walters, long pass.
That was a big gamble there by the winger Paul Sterling. Sort of went half-hearted for the intercept.
Peters was thinking about a drop goal then, and Leeds knew it. They surrounded him. 2 more tackles left. Walters, out wide it goes. Chances here, and Leeds scrambling back in defence.
Well, I'd take the one on offer.
And I think Peters might if he gets the opportunity. Will Robinson? No, he'll stab it through instead. Rivette is there to clean up.
Not a bad option. It was an awkward little bouncing kick there, but...
oh, he might have lost that, did he?
I don't know. Well read by Rivette.
No penalties, no penalties.
Looked suspiciously like that ball and just skipped free from Rivette. Well, Gateshead with all the possession and ahead 12-8 on the scoreboard.
And the Rhinos will be extremely relieved that Gateshead didn't have any more points on that mission forward. They really were put under a lot of pressure. 2 sets of 6 they had to absorb.
Sheridan with a big kick downfield. Gateshead with 6 breaks to their credit. This could be another from Heron, but stopped in his tracks by Godden and Sterling.
And that must be worrying Graham Berry, the Rhinos coach. In the first 2/3 of this season, the Leeds side were pretty strong in their defence. Not many missed tackles, and Graham Murray must be a bit of a worried man at the moment. 4 points adrift.
Robinson. Good hands there from Wilson to Simon, and still Simon bouncing off them. He's got support, but the man who went for it, Daylight, was tackled without the football by Lee Jackson.
Well, again, they're finding the gaps out wide.
This'll be another 2 points.
Back on the inside, and you can see that Jackson had taken him out. Good work by Simon. Then back on the inside, and Jackson read it. He knew that the support player was there. Well, this will be surely another 2 points. Put the kettle on, mother. Sean McRae, he'll be quite pleased with his charges.
Well, he won't mind how long it takes Ian Heron to line up this shot at goal, but he's very deliberate in his pre-kicking routine. The penalty was given about 20 seconds ago.
And we just saw Sean McRae there writing down. It's quite a few notes. He'll be pleased with the way that his side has got inside the Leeds outfit. They've slowed them down, not allowed the Rhinos to get into any sort of a swing.
Well, there's a minute or thereabouts gone. Here's Heron's attempted kick. Creeps up on the ball, doesn't he?
Oh, it's human.
Dearie me, that wasn't the best. Well, he's been sliding them over with monotonous regularity all year, but he's missed a couple tonight.
Well, I think that's about the worst that I've seen him come up with throughout this season.
2 successes from 5, I'm told. Now,
probably his worst stats for the season so far. Oh, what he can't do with the boot, maybe he'll try to do with the ball in his hands.
he's been targeted by 1 or 2 teams this year for the bombs out wide when he stands on the wing, Ian Heron. But he will certainly claim a place as a goal kicker, there's no doubt about that. Oh, the long ball from Walters. Sinfield went for the intercept and didn't take it. Cummins, why didn't he pass that ball inside? Why on earth did Jenkins hold on to that? This is Willie Peters. And now Simon with the opportunity, and Leeds scrambling back in defence.
Well, a great opportunity wasted. Jenkins should have passed that football.
Peters, back it goes. Here's Zammit. Zammit is hauled to the ground. That's the last tackle this set of 6. Will Leeds escape? Robinson, long pass out wide, they keep the ball alive. Bird, Collins gets over. Steve Collins, I think, has got the ball down, but referee and touch judge aren't 100% convinced. So they'll hand it on to the video referee to make the decision.
Well, again,
Did he hit the flag first? But Steve Collins thinks he's got the try. It was about 4 tackles later than it should have been, if he has.
Good work from Dion Bird. Oh, this is a try, surely. No doubt about it. Well and truly down before the legs go anywhere near. There you see them. They're still in the field of play when he makes contact. This will be TRY, and Leeds have been caught out wide yet again.
Twice this side, once that side now. The third Gateshead Thunder try, but it should have been underneath the posts. Never mind out there on the wing. Though Steve Collins won't be complaining. That's 11 for the season now, and 9 here at the Thunderdome.
Leeds having all sorts of problems. You can see that they went for the intercept, and it allowed the hooker back on the inside. He should have passed the football. Samet, the fullback, was there. Watch how Leeds go for the intercept. That really was early on, and then Bird out wide. They are being sucked in. Both Sterling and Rivette, the Leeds wingers, are having a bit of a nightmare. No winger within Cooey, only Andy Hay is in attendance. Paul Sterling knows he has made one big boo-boo.
So Steve Collins, 9 of those tries of his have come here at the Thunderdome this year, with Featherstone last year in the Division 1 Grand Final. Ian Heron with another conversion attempt, and well, he's kicked it this time. 18 points to 8. Gateshead Thunder are ahead, and problems for Graham Murray.
Well, there you see it. There's the winger. Sterling, he's come off the line. There's 2 out wide, 3 out wide. And as soon as Bird gets a football, it was 3 against 1. Andy Hay. Well, the message has to get out by Graham Murray to both his wingers, Sterling and Rivette, to lift their game. They are being exposed, but let's not take anything away from this Gateshead effort. It has been outstanding. They've used the same tactics that they deployed against Wigan.
Knock on against Gateshead. We've got Iestyn Harris on the field now for Leeds Rhinos, by the way. With the knock on in a crucial position of the field. Harris has come on. And the man he's replaced is Marvin Golden. But it'll be a rejig by Graham Murray. Surely Francis Cummins will move into the centre. Here's Darryl Powell. Now Iestyn Harris. Can he open the door? Not this time. Big hit by Zamet.
Well, to be fair, it was Iestyn Harris that really turned it on late in the second half, that virtually swamped Gateshead in their first ever game up here.
Here's Masella. Good swarming defence from Gateshead, though. Jackson coming down the short side with Sheridan. Sinfield back on the inside, a diagonal run from him, but the Gateshead defenders were waiting for him. Jackson dummy half again. Here's Masella to trundle it in, gives it to Sheridan. Sheridan saw a gap, and they clawed at him and brought him down. Good job that Adam Marr was lively there. Harris to Powell, and Powell comes back this way. Harris then takes control again, stabs the ball through. Gateshead have got it back, though. Good defence from little Willie Peters.
Did well there, put his body on the line. You can see how they forced Harris. He went on the blind side, but there was plenty of traffic there. That was very brave indeed by the halfback. He's the man that perhaps can change the complexion of this game. And Leeds realise, especially their coach Graham Murray, that they've got to do something quickly. Remember, Leeds played midweek. Will they have the power to get back into this game?
And
14 missed tackles.
I was going to say, certainly dropping off the tackles. This could be a great kick. Now then, here's a decision.
Didn't make it.
I think it was just the wrong side of the 40-20, wasn't it?
Yep.
Just short of 40-20.
1 metre short. He's a talent, the second rower. That there is no doubt. And you'll see in the high shot, just turns at the last moment.
Touch judge did well to see that from 20 metres back.
They're not that bad.
Let's get in, fellas, let's get in. Stay in, Leon.
What are they?
Depends who you listen to on a Friday evening or a Sunday evening.
That's one. Rebound.
Harris switches the direction of the attack. Whoops, thought about flicking the pass and then saw Robinson was there. Sinfield, Leeds have just lost a little bit of direction at the moment. He keeps the movement going though with Hay, and Andy Hay's broken through. He's got round Zammit, looking for support. It's arrived at last with Jackson. And Jackson now is all on his own. Oh, what on earth did he pass that for? He was looking for Sterling and Sterling wasn't there.
Well, they're just not getting it together, are they? Now, Sterling really should have made more use of that. It was a good break by the second row, Andy Hay. And when Jackson got it, there was half the Gateshead side coming through from an offside position. There's a half-time.
Half-time in the first half that has gone Gateshead's way.